What is a function? Well, let's start with just a definition. So a function is a relationship between two sets where each element of the first corresponds to exactly one element in the second. So that first set is the domain, and we'll call it x. The second set is the range, we'll call that y. So the basic idea is that each x value goes to exactly one y value. And you might be thinking, what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at an example of a function from a table. So in our table, you can see we have x values and y values. So each of our sets, x would be the domain, y would be the range. When we look at the x values, we have -2, 0, 1, and 5. Each x value goes to only one y value. The x value of -2 only goes to the y value of 5. So that x goes to one y value. The x value of 0 goes to 7. That x value goes to exactly one y value. Same for 1 and 5. Let's look at an example that is not a function from a table. Here you can see we have the points -2, 5, 0, 7, 1, 8, 5, -2, and 1, -1. We can notice here from our table that the x value of 1 goes to two different y values. The x value of 1 goes to 8, and it goes to -1. Therefore, this is not a function because the x value of 1 goes to two y values. Now let's look at a graph. You can see we have some points on the graph here. So let's notice the x values because functions are about where those x values, the domain, those values need to go to exactly one y value. So if I notice the x values, I have -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are the x values of each of our points. Each one of those goes to just one y value. And if you think, well, that's a little bit hard to see from the graph, we can list these as ordered pairs. So I have -1, 5, 0, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 1, and 4, 0. When you list it out that way, it is easy to see that all x values are different. If all x values are different in our given set, then it is a function because each of those x values goes to exactly one y value. If we're looking at a graph and we want to see what is not a function, again, let's go through the same process. Let's notice our x values. We have -1, 0, 2, 3, and 4. Great. We should notice here that one x value goes to two different y values. If you find that hard to see, list the ordered pairs. I've got -1, 5, 0, 3, -1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 1, and 4, 0. So we can see that the x value of -1 goes to two y values. More specifically, the y value of 5 and the y value of 4. Since we have an x value that goes to two y values, this is not a function.